Hi, it's Representative Rick Larsen with this week's weekly recap with Rick. Well, the government shutdown has ended, but the fight to ensure healthcare is affordable for the people I represent, that fight has not ended. In fact, this week I signed something that we call a discharge petition to get a bill on the floor as quickly as possible that would extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for healthcare by another 3 years. So it could bring certainty to healthcare costs for people I represent. Meantime, I'm continuing to fight for affordable healthcare and keeping your healthcare costs down. I introduced the Patients Over Paperwork Act. This is a bill that would get rid of the onerous paperwork requirements that were part of the big ugly law that are making it more difficult for people to sign up for healthcare. We don't need to increase paperwork and bureaucracy. That only increase costs for people who want to get healthcare. So my bill would reverse those onerous paperwork requirements that the big ugly law put in place. I released a veterans report, a report that came out of the multiple roundtables I held in September with veterans around the district. Had roundtables in 5 counties, plus an additional one that focused on tribal veterans that I did with the Lummi Nation, all in September. This report is on my website. I encourage you to go to my website, but it outlines issues in housing, healthcare, employment opportunities for veterans, as well as education issues that are facing our veterans community. I just introduced bipartisan legislation, you heard it right, bipartisan legislation to pay air traffic controllers in the event of a federal government shutdown. I did that bill with the chair of the Transportation Committee, my partner, Sam Graves. We can't have a shutdown at the expense of not paying the women and men who work in control towers across the country to ensure that the traveling public is flying safely. We also are able to announce this week that the USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture spending bill, has 3 specific projects that are funded in the Congressional District. One is $1 million for Island County's recycling and reuse station. Another $1 million for the Lopez Island Family Resource Center Food Center. And then finally, $165,000 for the Orcas Senior Center to replace the roof. Very happy to be part of that effort, just to do something very simple for the rural island community of Orcas Island. Probably heard as well that we voted to release the Epstein files, but now we have to hold the president and the administration accountable to release the Epstein files and bring transparency to whatever this horrible, horrible human being foisted upon people and hold people accountable for their activity with him. So I will keep working to lower costs, whether those are energy costs, food costs, healthcare costs. I think affordability is a very important issue right now in our country. Certainly it is in my congressional district, working on your behalf. So that's this week's weekly recap with Rick, and I'll see you next week. Actually, you know what? I won't see you next week. It'll be Thanksgiving next week. So it'll be a couple weeks before I do another recap. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.